Hey, how are you? Luis Mendoza from Luis Mendoza and Associates. I'm here having a little chat with Lauren Cox, one of my top agents, and Adela Marquez, one of my top agents. Lauren, tell us a little bit about yourself.
I'm Lauren. I have been in real estate for almost 5 years now. I've worked with Luis since the start of real estate. It's been an exciting experience that I've learned a lot along the way, and thankful for this guy who always keeps me on my toes. And yeah, that's about it.
Adela, tell us about your new venture.
Yeah, so I'm Adela Marquez. I'm coming from San Jose, now in San Diego, now in Alabama. With
Awesome.
Luis opening a company over there. We are so happy, so exciting to helping people over there. They need us.
So tell me, what I want to know is, what are you guys hearing? What's the consumer asking you? What's the worries? The market is so crazy right now. I've been in the business 20 years and I've never seen anything like that. It's beyond what happened in 2005. We're losing properties sometimes on offers like $150,000 over asking, over $1 million of purchase price. So this is crazy. Lauren, what are you seeing? What frustrations are the clients asking? What's going on?
Well, mostly working with buyers, they just want to know how they can get ahead in the market, how they can stand out from other offers that are coming in.
Mm-hmm.
In Tirsana, where I live, houses are very few and far between, and they're coming on the market, and in the first weekend there's 40, 50 showings, and by the second day there's already 10 to 12 offers on the table. So buyers want to know how they can put their best foot forward and what they can do to prepare themselves to not only get ahead and put themselves out there and get their offer accepted, but how to deal with that kind of pressure of the go, 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 and then kind of waiting.
I think that's one of the things that's really important. Some things that we offer as a team is that we've been in business 20 years, right? So we've gone through this. We've gone through the peak, we've gone through the valleys and everything else. So every time that market shifts, it's kind of interesting is how the consumer shifts too. Right now, the biggest situation is they're frustrated. People are frustrated. And why are they frustrated? Because they want a house. They want a home. So what happened during the pandemic? Whoever thought a year ago today, we're going, what's going to happen? Is our industry going to crash? Is everything going to happen? What's going to happen? But right now, a year later, guess what? Market went up 20%. Buyers are like trying to get an offer accepted. The crazy part is how you handle it. Not the crazy part is how you handle the offers. And what we do as a team that we can offer the consumers, you girls know, is that we're creative. We're creative in the way how we present an offer. It's all about the presentation. And our experience shows that. We've gotten offers accepted in the last few months, and how we've done it is through creative ways of how we write the offer with the contingency removal, still protecting the client and everything else. It's scary when people say, well, what do you mean I have to remove my contingency? I might lose my deposit. But I can say it, knock on wood, to this day, I've never lost a deposit because we can protect our client. Right. So I think one of the things is hire the right team, the right agent in order for those people to, start the American dream on it.
Absolutely.
Adela, what about you?
So we are so happy Luis opening a company in Alabama.
Yeah.
So, but you are traveling a lot to Alabama, Mexico, San Diego, California, Los Angeles. What do you think about the market in those areas?
It's pretty interesting. So we're pretty excited. MendozaRealtyGroup.com, we just launched the new website 2 weeks ago. I've gotten some great feedback. It's unique. Why is it unique? Because we have 3 different markets, which is kind of crazy. Everyone's wait a minute, California, Alabama, and Mexico? So it makes people want to go into the website. Yeah, exactly. But what I'm seeing the difference in the market as we open in Alabama, you and I over there, is that it's crazy. It's the same thing in California. A lot of people in Alabama are asking me in the Huntsville area, in Madison, Alabama area and all that stuff. You know what they're saying? So, the market's crazy. And I laugh. I'm all, you think it's crazy here? It's crazy in California. With our median price right now, it's $777,000 in California. In Alabama, it's $309,000. So what's happening is people are going like, oh my gosh, it's a frenzy. True statistic. You girls know I'm a numbers guy. 64% of any property that's put on the market in the United States gets at least 3 offers in 48 hours. Yeah. Not crazy? Anywhere in the United States.
Wow.
So imagine here, what's happening over here and all stuff. So what I'm seeing is I'm traveling. And people ask me, I've seen a good change. I've seen the positive. I hear economists, as I've told you girls, I hear them saying, oh, well, they give all their speech and talk about what's going to happen with the market. And I was telling David Romero the other day, I was like, well, these people, they're saying something from their Zoom. They haven't left the house.
Yeah.
So they haven't seen it. I've seen it. I can give you an example. Remember when we first said, hey, we're going to open in Alabama, and everyone's like, what are you doing? I know the girls
crazy?
were, and are you crazy? Yes, I am, But the crazy part was that as I traveled every month, and remember I told you girls in July, the airport here in San Diego was empty. Yeah. No one can go through and all stuff. And I'll never forget this, and I bring this as a change. In December, I flew Huntsville, Alabama, to Denver, Colorado, to Vegas. In that time, there was five Starbucks in the airports that were closed. And I'm like going, wait a minute, this is a corporation. And I remember texting you girls, I'm like, man, I think we're in trouble, Now, what's happening as the market? The South, the Midwest, the East Coast, and the West Coast are totally different right now. If I come to the West Coast, there's more restrictions. If you go to the South, there's less restrictions. People are more active. Yeah. But what I'm seeing is that as we open the market, open the whole country again, guess what's happening? Is that we're going to run into a lot of bumps. And those bumps are basically people going to work, going back to the offices and stuff like that.
Resuming their lives,
yeah. Right? So it's interesting. So people ask me, hey, what's going on in Mexico? Crazy enough, we're busy in Mexico again. Yeah. I put a pause on the business last year because I didn't know what's going to happen. So in Mexico, what's happening is a lot of people are saying, hey, man, after the pandemic, I want to buy that second home. Yeah. Right? What are we promoting right now? Tulum, Cancun,
Mazatlan, Los Cabos, Mérida.
Those
are beautiful cities, and the people. How are you gonna feel in just working from your office or your house in front of the beach?
Yeah. So as people are going saying, hey, you know what? They're buying a so at Tulum, you can find a house for $200,000, and you can rent it. You don't have restrictions on Airbnb like it just happened in San Diego. Yeah. Like that, I think that's crazy. Like, hey, restrictions on what you own and what you can do. So what's happening is you're going like Cabo San Lucas, Mérida. It's like it's really affordable, which is north of Cancun, right there at the Gulf, not too far away. Mazatlan. It's a really, they're building a vertical with our developer over there. So it's kind of crazy. So I'm excited. Finally, I can say in this trip, I see more movement. Yeah. I see more movement in the hotels. I see more movement in the TSA line, which I didn't like them before. Now it's like they're coming back, and I'm like, oh man, that makes me excited. So
little things.
So yeah, little things that you took for granted during the thing. So yeah. I think basically those are great steps. The reason why we're ahead of the game as a team, I think, is because I'm living those things. Of course, I'm taking the risks, right? But at the same time, everything has a risk, right? So and would go back to a risk. A lot of people are scared right now buying a house because it's the peak of the market and all that stuff, right? A lot of people are, oh my gosh, is this the peak right now? It's all strategy. So I tell people, so Lauren, are you buying this house for like a 2 or 3 year short term? It's not the right time to buy. But if you're buying a house for like a 7-10 year term, it's the right time. Right. What does real estate do? Up and down. 2008, this market in San Diego crashed 46%. 46%. Look, we're past it now, 10 years later. What's beautiful about, we're talking to our clients from Mexico City, want to invest over here. They ask me, so, well, how do I know my money's going to be safe? And that's the example. 2008, we crashed so bad. Guess what? It came back up on real estate, right? That's where it is. What else are you girls hearing?
Well, now that you were just talking about 2008, and the market trends, a lot of people are saying we're in a housing bubble and we're going to burst. I've heard mixed reviews. Yes, we're in a bubble. It's going to burst. Yes, we may be in a bubble, but it's not going to burst, and it's definitely not going to be as bad as it was that we've seen in the past. How can you speak to that, and how can you assure both buyers and sellers that, like you just said, their investment's going to be protected?
So this is my point that I'm telling people as they ask me, and especially I think this is the message we need to deliver. Are we in a peak Yes, we are. But we're in a different situation. This is the first time the economy where the stock market is up and the real estate market is up. So basically, right now, what's happening is they're like, yeah, we have a different beast per se, you know, and that different beast is completely something that no one's gone through. Now, one thing, the reason why they're saying, hey, why, these are true numbers, why is it that the real estate market is there's not enough supply? Of course, the pandemic's one of them because people were scared of showing the properties and all that stuff, right? The second one that a lot of people don't take in consideration is that the construction of new homes in this decade is the lowest it's been ever. So usually it's 20 million houses. 20 million houses that they build. Right now it's 5.8 million. So that's what's happening. Now, what happens now with the construction? It slowed down because of the lumber, right? That property we're selling in Alabama, what's happening? Everything was on hold. Yeah. Why? Because lumber is expensive. People can't find jobs. There's like, and this development that we're selling over there is basically, the guy told me, these 4 houses, they haven't done construction in 4 months because they can't find plumbers. Because people can't go to work. So those are the true facts that we got to look at on the thing. So when it comes, is it a bubble? You know what? I believe that the market's going to adjust. How is it going to adjust? Something has to adjust. It's going to be 4% by next year. We'll have the interest rates. So what happens with affordability, right? It comes down. So that's going to level out the market. People are going to say, hey, we're going to sell because now we're vaccinated and we feel more comfortable. We're going to move out of the state or we're going to switch. A lot of migration. You know, interesting point. Did you guys know that the number one city that people are migrating from is in the United States?
From or to?
From. Leaving, basically, packing up.
I'm going to say San Diego, the way you're speaking.
New York, San Francisco.
Anaheim, California.
Oh, wow.
Oh.
Anaheim, California is one of them. So it's kind of interesting how it's working. So with the situation what's going to adjust is because the interest rates and what happened to affordability the last year. The affordability the last year, they had more money on their budget. I call it the COVID budget and the pre-COVID budget. That COVID budget, guess what? No gas, no vacations, no restaurants, no
extracurriculars.
Extracurricular activity, yeah, go to the movies, or even as a parent, you know, sports. You're starting to travel. So wait a minute, yeah, we have another $1,000 a month that we can pay. That was during that time the last year. As we reopen America, guess what's happening? They're gonna say, whoa, wait a minute, we forgot about how inflation's the biggest thing. Gas here is how much? $4.55 in San Diego?
Yeah.
In Alabama is
$2.59.
So it's kind of, you know, it's like the differences and all stuff, but those are the things in consideration. So I remember here having 2 SUVs here in California. It cost me what, $700 a month probably on gas. So that's a hit. And that's a lot of the families around the area. So there's going to be an adjustment coming up. It's going to be slowly coming, but it's not going to be this or what the people are thinking. Because there's still money in the stock market, and people are making money in the stock market. Where do they go usually? To the real estate market. So right now, people ask me, is it time to buy? Sell for all you can, do it now.
And that's the question, because they said about the interest rate. So interest rate is good, but they don't know for sure if it's a good time to buy.
Yeah,
right now.
And that's what an average interest rate in the sense they've been keeping track for 40 years is, guess what, 6%. And that was during the crash of the market in 2008. That was 6-7%. You know, I remember those days. Now, so we're at half of that. Yeah. So what's happening is, you know, the government's trying to help out with the Fed keeping the interest rates and all that stuff. So now what they got to balance is the inflation, because everything, like you're saying, inflation and housing. You know, your average sales price in all the United States, I think it's like $345,000. That's the whole enchilada, as we say, you know. So what else are you hearing, Lauren?
Well, so you kind of just touched on now's a great time to buy because interest rates are low, even though the market seems high, but you're also saying it's a great time to sell. So that's kind of a unique situation that we're in where it's a good time for both. Whereas I know buyers aren't really seeing it. They're seeing the high prices and they're saying, well, maybe I should wait.
So the move-up buyers, basically what's happening is, what's the biggest thing? I talk to people and say, hey, Luis, heck yeah, it's a time to sell. But where do I go? Where do I go? I talked to somebody, this is what he did in Alabama. So he sold, guess what? He bought an RV. And he goes, I'm just going to wait, till to market. But how are we doing a solution as a team in both states, which is great. We have a great program, that we can help out, a bridge loan. So a bridge loan basically is saying, I identify the property. Hey, I want that property, but I got to sell the other one. Well, I can't be a contingent offer. What's a contingent offer? Basically, I have to sell my house in order not to have a mortgage in order to buy the other one, right? So what do we have to do? We have to be creative. And that's the best part about us as a group and like that. We do that. When the market shifted, crashed, I started a short sale company. Now that's what we're doing now. It's like, what are we doing? We're doing the exact same thing, helping out with some investors that are helping out. So Lauren, let's say you want to sell your house and say, hey, I like that property. We can move up. It's the same kind of payment or maybe a little higher. Guess what we can do is we can have that investor give you a bridge loan. A bridge loan is basically saying, hey, we'll help you out. We'll do the loan for 6 months interest-free for a fee, of course, everything. So what will happen is you'll be able to buy that property without limitations on what you can do. So we have those programs. You guys can give us a call Adela or Lauren about those programs and many other things. On the buyer side, we're helping. We got some good stuff that we're getting offers accepted and people are going. And one of the things that matters is that how many years we've been in the business. You guys know me. I know people in the industry. And what people say, why do you network with those people? That's the exact same reason. Because what's happening with this market is flooded with people with agents. Kind of like a police officer pulls you over. Can I see your license? And it's like, which one, my real estate or my driver's license? That's what's happening again. So that's what we can do, with our experience. And we know the people. An agent, would rather work with someone that has a good reputation, right? That knows it's going to close and is not going to have any hiccups. That's what we have to offer. Anything else, girls?
Just maybe you can talk a little bit about the loans because we have different loans.
Yeah, it's crazy. With this market, as the market shifts and all that stuff, what's happening is like they have different loans. We have the FHA. We have 100% FHA again. We have a VA loan, which is, I think, in the Alabama market, it's under. They're not using it that much. I don't see it. But over here in San Diego, they're using a lot. Now, the other thing, too, is like we're excited that we're working with the DACA loans. We're working with the ITIN loans. So for those people that have been having issues in the past, guess what? We have some connections. We have the right team in order to deliver those DACA and ITIN loans, which it's a market. It's a market. And that's good. And what does that say? What's it when we're talking about the bubble? Okay, if this buyers shift, guess what? We got new buyers coming in. Those new buyers are going to do something. So anything else, girls?
I don't think so. I think we touched on a lot of different ways to strategize for our clients, both buyers and sellers, and kind of the different options out there. And like Luis said, if anyone has any more questions or want to learn more about what we have to offer, definitely reach out to myself, Luis, or Adela. We're always here to help and happy to do so.
Adela?
Yeah, so the people needs to get more information. That's the most important. And go with the right people. I think that's the best part.
And the best part about it with our website, I suggest you go check it out. It's nice, it's clean. We worked on it for 3 months. It's got a blog. We blog every day during the week in Spanish and English. sdrealestatetalk.com, huntsvillerealestatetalk.com. The website's Mendoza Realty Group. And then also at the same time, what you can do is some of our interviews that we've had. In Mexico, we've had over 30 interviews in the last year from newspapers in Mexico regarding what's going on in the marketplace. So we're active, we're moving, and we're ready to help you guys. We're ready to help any of the clients out there. And subscribe to our YouTube channel. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, Twitter, all those handles. We'll send them to you and everything like that. But I'm glad I got to catch up. We got some answers, on what was going on with the consumer. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.